Outdoors Delmarva covers everything outdoors,
including real hunting and fishing situations involving wildlife.
We do our best each week to keep it tasteful, but discretion is advised.
Now enjoy the show.
This week on Outdoors Delmarva, grab your rod and reel as we take advantage of a freshwater fishing opportunity in Delaware.
It's fun and you can catch some fish and eat them.
From the guys on the stocking truck to the lucky anglers reeling in these whoppers, we're there for the start of trout season.
Then, their personal sacrifices can never be repaid, but a local group of sportsmen is doing their best giving back to Delmarva's wounded warriors.
That was wicked sweet.
And duck hunting season is behind us, but nesting season is right around the corner. We'll spend time on the heels of a conservationist looking to enhance this precious natural resource.
Plus, we'll have your latest viewer photos to share right now on Outdoors Delmarva. Take 'em!
Right, come on, let's go.
Hi everybody, and thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Captain Willie Dykes.
And I'm Mike Parker, and we're happy you could join us again here in the cabin for another round of adventures this week.
Mike, that spring fever is really starting to kick in.
Oh, yeah.
With everybody getting the itch to get outdoors. If we could just get some consistently warmer weather.
Know exactly what you're talking about, and like it or not though, Willie, for now, it's still winter. Though you wouldn't have known it this past week when the trout season returned to Delmarva. And not only were we there when these fish arrived, we were there hanging out with some anxious anglers too.
We are down Greenwood Way now, just south of the road connecting Greenwood to Ellendale.
The build-up to trout season in Lower Delaware began on a cool Thursday afternoon when members of the Maryland DNR arrived with a big truck containing a special delivery.
There you go. Yes, indeed.
Just talk of the word of trout brings excitement. It is something that is not the that is sort of rare in the area, and a good-looking fish, and a fish that many tales are told about.
After all, with no native trout streams on Delmarva, trout season here requires stocking. And this year's batch of jumbo fish is made up of hundreds of the rainbow and golden rainbow varieties.
I think this is the last one.
If they're anywhere close to shore, you won't mistake them. They look like a big goldfish swimming around in a pond.
The fish, grown at a Pennsylvania hatchery, will now explore their new home here in the depths of Newton Pond in Sussex County and at Tidbury Pond in Kent County.
This is beautiful trout water right here.
Seeking out shelter and food on their own and bringing out their wild sides, at least for a couple of days.
I'm actually here with my two boys, Christopher and Matthew, down there on the end down there fishing in the orange. Decided to see you guys on TV, and they seen a fish and they wanted to come out here and see if they can get a couple of those big ones.
By 7 a.m. Saturday, the banks of Newton Pond are lined up with anxious anglers. And while many Delmarva fishermen and women have at least some history of catching trout somewhere else, this stocking program is only in its third year. So each season, reeling in more interest.
You know, that's what you live for, that's what you have kids for, you know, to have fun with them and teach them new things.
It's fun and you can catch some fish and eat them.
That is the best part, isn't it?
The fresh air, getting out in the morning, meeting nice people. I've done it since I was a little boy, and I'm 72. And it's the first time I've done it in probably 10 years or more.
We're struggling.
A quick survey of the pond, and you'd think this morning may have been a little slow, with several anglers coming to terms with their limited catch early on.
Well, I've caught one bluegill. That's it so far. No trout yet. I'm working on it.
But a closer inspection down the line reveals some action as we let the fishtails begin.
Well, this is the second time I've done it. Last year I caught the first fish on about the first or second cast. This morning I caught the first fish on the first cast, and I guess it's about a pound and a half, 2 pound trout.
That's what I was looking for. That was a thrill on a quarter-ounce spinner, which I was going for the bigger ones. Yeah, about 1.5 pounds.
It's really fun because it's like they fight, and so it's really fun.
He's showing me up.
In Lower Delaware, the legal limit is 6 trout per day, as long as you have your license and trout stand. And by our count, only 1 or 2 anglers were really getting close to filling the cooler.
Pretty nice rainbow. Caught him on a rooster tail white.
But an experience like this, between fathers and sons, and between old friends and new ones, is something you wouldn't want to cast aside.
They're definitely a lot more challenging than catching your typical bass and, around here, so you don't have too many opportunities to catch a trout, so when the time comes, it's, good to get out there.
Get outdoors, Delmarva.
Fish up and get outdoors, Delmarva.
Well, there really is nothing like that opening day feeling when trout season begins. And if you haven't had a chance to get to either Newton or Tidbury ponds yet, you haven't missed out. DNR tells us that both of those ponds will be restocked later this week. So get out there and have some real fun. Still ahead on Outdoors Delmarva this week, we'll take a hike through the swamp as we prepare these wood duck boxes for the upcoming nesting season. And next, we join some patriots in the field when local sportsmen give back to our wounded warriors. But first, did you know? The rainbow trout is primarily a freshwater fish, but can you name the variety of rainbow that spends several years of its life in saltwater? The answer when we come back.
Outdoors Delmarva is sponsored by Shooter's Choice and Shorts Marine. Outdoors Delmarva will be right back, faster than you can tie a fly.
Did you know? The variety of rainbow trout that spends several years of its life in saltwater is called the steelhead. As adults, they'll return to freshwater to spawn in the same location they were born.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Captain Willie Dykes. As an American veteran, there's no subject closer to my heart than my fellow servicemen and women, and many of them have made sacrifices that can never be fully repaid. But here on Delmarva, there's a growing group of sportsmen that are doing their best to honor our most deserving citizens.
Comrades in arms.
That's right, yeah. Let's go whoop those pheasants' butts. I'm going to get me a pheasant for my stroke and croak list.
We've got these birds sporadically planted out through the field. We'll walk along at a nice leisurely pace, and when the dog starts smelling the bird, he'll come into the scent cone and he'll stop and he'll point the bird tail up, and it'll be something to see for you.
And before you know it, Jake and Pepper, a pair of English pointers, are off to work on this 25-acre parcel on the Marshtown Preserve in Dover, Delaware. Today's hunt for pheasant and chukar was organized by Hunters Helping Soldiers, a non-profit organization whose mission is to provide hunting and fishing trips to the men and women who have sacrificed so much to help keep our freedom. A C-5 Galaxy prepares to land at nearby Dover Air Force Base, a familiar sight for Goldie Sanitate, who served in the Air Force. Joining Goldie in her first hunting adventure are Vietnam veterans and Delaware residents Arnie Arnett and Wayne Carter.
This is an opportunity that guys in chairs and people with disabilities don't get a chance to do very often. These guys are really taking care of us today.
And it's not long before the action begins.
Go now. You got her.
Good job. Good.
I shot once. I want her to get one. She's up next. I want her to get this.
That was wicked sweet.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
when
I saw it. Yeah,
when he comes up?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that's cool. Oh, now I know how to follow.
And all of them is a little different, okay?
I haven't shot a pheasant quite a while. That first shot was just a rush.
Jake almost resembles a statue as he sets point on another bird. And although every flushed bird might not fall prey to the hunters, this field of Milo is planted with some 20 game birds.
There you go. Good
job,
shot,
Wayne.
Wayne. Good shot.
This is the second one I ever got.
Dead-eye shot Wayne Carter bags yet another bird, and this day we'll see a total of 9 birds harvested, 6 pheasant and 3 chuckers.
Everybody ready?
Small one or a big one?
Small one.
Small one.
One unfortunate chucker doesn't stand a chance when the trio begins perfecting their teamwork.
That was a team shot. That was all 3 of us, huh? We all got a piece.
Yeah, I heard 2 shots and they were like, bye-bye.
Yeah.
And although Chuck missed the shot, Goldie didn't.
Wicked sweet! Oh, that's wicked. I love that. Woo. Second shot. I wasn't scared that time. Rock and roll, dude. Woo. Blow it up. That's the first time I ever shot hunted. That was wicked sweet. Oh, man. Oh, thank you, guys. Oh, hunters helping soldiers. They rock, and they actually got me to do a stroke and croakless thing.
I'm gonna let you guys know we have a taxidermist here in Delaware that's gonna mount a pheasant for free for each of you.
Wicked! Oh, thank you. Rock it. Woo!
To learn more about hunters helping soldiers, go to outdoorsdelmarva.com. Coming up next on Outdoors Delmarva, better put your wading boots on. We're headed into some swampy areas as we prepare some prime wood duck habitat for the nesting season. But first, did you know? After wintering on Delmarva, snow geese return to their breeding ground in the northern Arctic. Mating pairs will produce 2 to 6 eggs each spring.
Did You Know is sponsored by the Maryland Coastal Bays Program. Stay with us. Mike and Captain Willie will have more adventures to come.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Mike Parker. Well, if you haven't noticed by now, most of the stories you see here on the show are viewer generated. In other words, we get a phone call or an email from someone who tells us about something coming up, and we go and check it out. Other times, one story kind of leads to the next, like a couple weeks ago when I was duck hunting with some guys in Wicomico County, and I learned that one of the hunters I was with is also leading the way when it comes to conservation.
We are heading to the Pocomoke River. We're heading to Purnell Crossing.
It takes just a few minutes riding shotgun with Carl Hammond around Wicomico and Worcester counties to discover that he's ambitious, passionate, and no question,
Okay, here's
dedicated to his hobby.
I'll show you what you're looking for. The membrane and the caps where the little ducks have cut their way out.
Because after just a few minutes, you'll have the answer to at least one question you may have asked yourself. What's lurking in the woods just a few yards from the road?
I'm gonna cut that.
Well, that answer? Wood duck boxes. Hundreds of them, really. Designed, built, and for more than 20 years, maintained by Carl.
I can't find, I've never heard anybody say anything bad about a wood duck. If you give them a safe nest in good habitat like this, you don't really have to do much else for them.
Now, just about anybody with a computer these days can find a rough design for building a wood duck box, but it's Carl's experience out here in these swampy surroundings that'll override any search engine result.
We drive 2 posts, 4x4s. They're built out of fir, T111. Like I said, they've been up, some of them over 20 years. and they're as good as the day they were put up. And these are galvanized brooder stoves that came out of chicken houses.
Evolving from trial and error for each spot he's ever built on, aimed to fend off any predator that might take an interest.
We made a lot of mistakes over the years, early on, but in 20 years you learn a lot, and we corrected all the mistakes. First ones we put up, we nailed directly to trees. I put little small cone shields on them that were far too small, and we even found raccoons in them asleep. It was that bad, so we took them all down. If we could salvage them, we did. And if we couldn't salvage them, I just knocked them off the tree with an axe to just stop it from being a death trap.
Ooh, boy, they stink. Woo! Oh my gosh.
As a hunter, Carl says he's yet to find anything that gives him the same thrill that wood ducks provide. So as a conservationist, his off-season efforts are his way of putting back more ducks than he could ever take.
You see what we've done here? We've had 4 successful hatches in 5 boxes. You know, it's unbelievable what you can do with them.
And after so much work for so many years, is it really just a hobby and a passion, or an obsession? Well, for Carl, it's just his way of staying in tune with nature and ensuring a future for a resource that's provided so many good memories in the past.
I want to be like Frank Perdue was to chickens, you know? He was absorbed in it, and I like to use Frank Perdue as an example, you know, I want to be the Frank Perdue of wood ducks, which I think I am.
Well, thanks again to Carl for letting us tag along, and of course we'll be checking back in with him in the spring to see how successful those boxes are. Still ahead on Outdoors Delmarva, you won't want to miss this week's Scorchy's Corner Classic.
Scorchy's Corner Classics are sponsored by TARS Marine Insurance.
Hi everybody, thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Mike Parker, and I'm excited to be spending some time right now with one of the fine sponsors of our program, talking about Shorts Marine, a third-generation family business here in the Millsboro and Long Neck, Delaware area. And joining me right now is one of the guys who makes it all happen around here, talking about Kelly Rotz. How you doing, Kelly?
Hey, Mike, how you doing? Real good.
Real good.
Well, we're excited. You know, boating season and fishing season's coming up on us real quick now, and we try and tout ourselves as the most complete marine dealer around.
One of the things that caught my eye right off the bat is this beautiful Triumph center console fishing boat here. I mean, this is a classic look, but this is not a classic design, is it?
Not at all. Triumph is a new line for us here at Shorts. Triumph is touted as the world's toughest boat. It is not a fiberglass boat, it's a plastic boat. They call it Ropaline, and when they say it's virtually indestructible, they're not kidding. How many of you would go up to a brand spanking new boat in a showroom, take an aluminum baseball bat, and whack it?
Are you kidding me? Do that again.
You bet.
Kelly, not only is this boat tough, but I'm thinking versatile too. I mean, I could see myself behind the helm of this baby with my buddies out fishing on the bay. But then I look back here, plenty of room for the kids. And up front, you know what I think my wife would love? Laying out on that cushion.
Absolutely, Mike.
All right, we're here out back right now, and Kelly, I don't think I've ever seen this many personal watercraft in one spot. And I'm talking about variety too.
It's pretty awesome, Mike. You know, we carry skis from limited 130 horsepower for the beginner all the way up to the big guys right here, 255 horse with a floating suspension, a floating deck. They have brakes on them and reversing abilities now.
I'm pumped for the spring and summer boating season.
Well, thanks for coming out. It's been a pleasure having you, Mike. Have a safe season out on the water.
We'll see you out there. From jet skis to jet boats to pontoons and the best fishing setups you can find, make sure to make Shorts Marine your first stop before heading out on the water. And we'll be right back. Your viewer photos are still to come.
Outdoors Delmarva is sponsored by Shooter's Choice and Shorts Marine.
Over the years, there have been some great outdoor-related events in the area, and some stand the test of time and others seem to pass as quickly as they arrived. Years ago, Scorchy Taws attended one such event in Ocean City, where things were really cooking.
Well, it was the aroma of fish cooking that turned people's noses to the south side of Ocean City's Convention Hall at high noon last Saturday. The first annual Sport Fishing Expo fish cooking contest was in full swing. We had picked up Walt Michaels at his Westover plant market in mid-morning to ride along and keep us company, knowing that his love of fishing is followed closely by his love of cooking. But somebody had to fillet the fish and somebody had to be a taster. And nobody but nobody does either any better than Walt Michaels. When the moment of truth finally arrived, the sister team of 9-year-old Ellen Angle and 12-year-old Elaine Angle had pulled the fish cooking contest upset of the century with their winning dish named Fish Nut Roll Kebab. Scorchy Taws, wandering our Delmarva land for WBOC News.
Time now to take a look at some of the pictures sent in by our own Outdoors Delmarva viewers. And we begin with some shots that'll get your heart racing if you're a turkey hunter. Tom Williams from Millsboro spotted these hens in a field earlier this week, and in an email, Tom says, like other hunters, he is suffering from, get this, whitetail withdrawal, waterfowl fever, and the cottontail blues.
Eddie Dean from Cambridge sent in a few shots. The first is a beautiful sunset over the Blackwater National Wildlife Refuge. The next is a picture of Eddie and his daughter Sienna with their respective 7-point buck and doe from this past season. And here's a shot from Bo Shockley from Georgetown. Bo says he tunes into the show every week and wanted to share this trophy buck, which he shot in November while hunting with his dad.
Well, we love sharing your outdoor photos here on the show, so please keep them coming. Just email me, mparker@wboc.com.
And Mike, just in case we don't see you on next week, we'd like to pass along congratulations in advance. I understand you and your wife Tara are expecting a new addition to the family, and we want to pass along our congratulations for Mom and the baby.
Yeah, I'm sure that something's going to happen pretty big in my life between now and then, and I appreciate that, Willie. And we'll be back here with more outdoor adventures to come with a new member of the family. Until then, for Captain Willie Dykes, I'm Mike Parker, reminding you to get outdoors, Delmarva.